Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Now we're back at it with our bad habits. No, I'm just playing. It's constructive. Troll squad, we up. Now let's go ahead and get it started without delay.
When I say bum, when I say bum, when I say bum.
The Dossier.
Every night, every night, every night.
Whoa, hold on. I might be able to make a banging ass beat with that. See, now I done got sidetracked. Now we're doing this. No, we're doing this, and we'll be back to the video in a second.
I don't give a
You talk to me crazy one more time.
Got him! Every night, every night, every night, every night, every night, every night.
You know, I sometimes think to myself, I get a little carried away. I see things and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But no more delay. We're not gonna stretch that. I just wanted to do it. But let's get back to it.
Every night.
And look at this, another child support envelope. They rip money out my check like I'm some kind of charity.
I ain't even gonna lie, with that Boondocks format and the way that this was, if this was actually an episode of Boondocks or just a random show, I would watch this. This show look like it's about to be fire. You can just call that joint child support. We ain't even gotta make it complicated. You know what I'm saying? Daddy duties and child support. Boom. Title. Fire. Make the episodes. I'll watch it on Netflix.
I pay rent, lights, internet, groceries. Now I'm paying for a house I don't even live in. For what?
And he gotta be talking to somebody. They gonna be like, well, I mean, what you gonna do? And he gotta zoom in. We gotta, you know what intro we gotta put. It's only you have to, anytime a struggle come up and you trying to come up, you gotta put this intro.
They say this is a big rich town.
And then you know you can't have a get rich or die trying type of episode without 50. 50 gotta direct it. You gotta have him involved. Then boom, you got a fire show. Give it about 2 seasons. Don't exceed 2 seasons, because every time you pass 2, it just goes downhill.
I get 1 weekend a month. That's not support.
Caller. Caller, what's
Come on, bro. Let it play, man. What's the point? Here's the thing. If you're gonna get trolled, at least get trolled properly. I need to see how you feel about this. How you feel about getting trolled? You take it away from this entertainment here. If we still gonna laugh, whether you like it or not, this is happening. Non-consensual collab is happening.
Like just frumpy ass like Levi's jeans and slightly out of shape. Anytime you throw in like any FGC shit.
Like it's a small camp.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Come on, bro. Play the bums in unison. Pause. Come on. Bro, even when you blocking, you ain't gotta say it all the time. You could even do maybe 2 or 3 of them, be like, man, get that ass banned. It's just, you could even throw that in there. You're not putting none of it in there, man. What's going on, bro? Do we need to have a talk? Are you okay? What's going on? I just feel like every day that goes on, you lose more and more of yourself. You become more and more of a bum, and you're not capturing the essence of your childhood. Pause. Of when you was upset on the internet, going off on people. This is what we looking for, and you're not providing this. You're not providing this entertainment. However, this is better than Fortnite. This is better than Fortnite. I'll give you that.
This is when shit gets weird.
peanut butter? Shout out.
Come on, bro. Stop being so salty. Let it play. Come on.
Bruh, look at this dude.
Shout out to peanut.
Come on, bro. I'm fighting. You know it's funny. Come on. You know it's funny. Come on now.
The Dossier, every night, when I say bump, the Dossier, every night. Emo 342 owns you. Honey Badgers, I support.
This man trying to double block. Dude, you do understand that if you block, you can still see theirs. They have to block you so you can't see it. When you block them, that doesn't mean you don't see it. It doesn't mean it's gone. It just means they can't see you. You've been on the internet all this time and you still don't understand how the block works. Like, come on, man.
I say bump. I say. What the fuck?
The ukulele. Oh snap.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb.
What the fuck is a ukulele? Ukulele? What the fuck word is that? Ukulele? Ukulele? Alright, we skipping that one. Oh, ukulele. Okay.
Come on, bro. Nothing at all. No smile, no nothing. It's not funny. Come on, man. Don't be a poor sport. Come on now. You know this is funny. You know you want to laugh at this.
Put that.
This place looks
Yeah, this is something I gotta like go and like clean up myself.
But he came and put him in the lost temple. I wonder what he was searching for. Probably those candies.
Yeah, this is all troll shit. You can just tell.
He never got the last 200.
I'm 40 and a deadbeat. Somebody stop me!
Bro, what is that? What's going on with that arm? What is that?
Almost there, huh?
Damn, what in the MeatCanyon is going on here?
Yeah, and we already picked the name.
Go ahead.
Our baby's name will be the Dale Dossier on YouTube.
Unique, just like us.
Damn, they already doing horror shorts? Man, it's getting dark kind of fast, ain't it? Turning into midnight real quick, ain't it? We went from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Man, getting a little dark there.
Please! Dale Dossier! The Dale Dossier!
Right on. Y'all got it. However, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next segment. We're gonna let them yeah, they got that one. Yeah.
Then he goes on to say the best way to compete with short form content is by having better margins. Right, because nothing screams great games like an arbitrary 30% profit target.
Hey, being rich doesn't equate to common sense. Just because a person made a lot of money does not mean they're smart anywhere else. They may be smart in that specific thing that they did to make that money. However, doesn't mean they're good at anything else, and that's where a lot of people get it confused. Like, you can make $1 million playing basketball. That doesn't mean you know anything about architecture. You know what I'm saying? And that's what needs to be understood. If you guys want to sell games, make good products and stop making these stores. They're literally making video game stores where they're just trying to sell things and they're trying to milk us for the product that should have been there in the first place. That ain't how you gonna make those margins. Trust me when I tell you.
A number that is so divorced from reality, by the way, that it doesn't even exist in this industry. Most of these publishers are operating on razor-thin margins. Nintendo floats around 20% on a good year. PlayStation's under 10%. The only company that I know of that's around 30% is probably Valve.
And not to cut you off, but speaking of Nintendo, they wasted more time trying to sue people over things they don't own versus making a good product.
And that comparison is a joke. Valve is a platform that makes games as a hobby. Xbox is a platform that needs games to survive. You cannot hold yourself to that same metric without destroying everything that makes this medium work. And of course, that's exactly what's happening. The only way that Xbox can sniff 30% margins is by gutting itself from the inside out, raising prices, laying off workers, cutting corners, and shoving unfinished games through the door to be able to save a quarter's worth of cost.
Oh yeah, and don't forget they added extra tiers to that Game Pass now. So now they trying to charge you even more money for that.
Since 2024, they have laid off over 10,000 employees. Xbox Game Pass has risen in prices.
There it is.
They delayed the $80 price hike, but that's still going to be coming.
I'm sorry, $80 for what? I know you ain't talking about $80 for what y'all been putting out. Like, and it's digital, and we just have a license to play it and don't even own the product? Mandatory being online just to access the game and play it? Nah. But even then, if it's physical, max, anything beyond $59.99, y'all pushing it. If you can't afford to put the game out for that, y'all need to cut back and scale back and figure out where you're going wrong. It ain't my job. I don't make the games. But what I will tell you is, I ain't spending it. I got the money to spend it, but I'm not paying y'all that. No, nuh-uh. Not when you putting stores all in the game and not giving me all the content. Nah.
They've slowed down their console production because their sales are down nearly 30% year over year.
I wonder why. I wonder why that's happening. You know, when you keep focusing on profit margins versus a good product, you know, somehow people tend to stop buying and spending money on it because it's not a good product. I wonder. And then when people get $60, $70 controllers and then they fall apart when they don't drop them, they don't throw them, they don't break them, and then they just instantly just start breaking on you, so you have to buy another one for no reason. I wonder why the sales are down.
And Outer Worlds 2 somehow launched with worse optimization than Borderlands 4, which honestly is a feat in and of itself. And for what? What is any of this for? It's definitely not for the players. We don't even respect the Xbox brand anymore. Nearly every major release under their umbrella has underperformed or just vanished within weeks. The only real success that I think that they've had is the Oblivion remake, but that doesn't even count in my eyes because that was a third party that made that game.
Yeah, they at the point of just freestyling now. They just putting their games on PlayStation. You know, now you get Game Pass on Mac and all that. And when I said it 4 or 5 years ago, people were like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Microsoft products will never be on Mac." All right, okay. Oh, okay. So like I said, Game Pass is now on Mac. It's basically they're switching to just a service where you can play it anywhere, kind of like a Netflix. That's what they're trying to switch to. But the problem is, if they aren't developing anything, okay, yeah, there's third party. So there's two things that's gonna happen. Either you're gonna start price gouging on that pass, you're gonna start price gouging the developers who are making games on the platform, or you're gonna start putting ads in the game. Either way it goes, none of these are a good outcome. So you need to make something that can sustain yourself with your own product. With all these, y'all done bought all these studios and ain't doing nothing with them. You ain't put out one tangible product after all this spending you were doing on these studios. That's crazy.
Who needs a 30-minute TV slot when you can instead just live inside of an ad? And they're not even being subtle about it. Juice Van Duren, a business analyst and industry insider, said it outright. With Game Pass growth slowing down and regulators closing in on microtransactions, publishers are now pivoting towards advertising as their new cash flow. Zynga and Square Enix are already partnering with Gadsby to be able to inject ads directly into their mobile titles. And according to the New York Times, Xbox employees are now testing an ad-supported version of their cloud gaming service.
And in all fairness, if you don't pay for the membership and you want to use the membership and they show ads, that's fair. You can't dictate or say how you want something to go if you're not paying for it. If you deciding to pay with you watching ads, I mean, hey, I have no complaints there with that. That'd be fair. If they want to make more money that way, it might actually be more beneficial for them. But the only problem is they're still going to have to make a better product. Okay, yeah, cool. You found a way to subsidize, or you found a way to make more money. But the issue is, all I'm hearing from you is profit margins. I'm not hearing profit margins for a better product. Because if you're producing good products, you would not only would you make money on your ads, more people would want to play it. More people would want to be active on it.
That's the off-ramp. That's where they're headed now, away from creativity, away from quality, straight towards a world where the goal isn't to make better games. It's to make you stay long enough to be able to sell you something else. These guys aren't wrong that they're competing with social media. That's true for every single entertainment platform and format that's out there right now. There are hundreds of billions, if not trillions of hours being spent doom scrolling social media. You guys sit here and watch me for 20 plus minutes talking about video games, ranting about video games. But the solution to that problem is not more services. And I can definitely tell you it's not more advertising. It's just make better products, make better games, make something that grabs people's attention. But seeing that Xbox is a company that largely has been making games that nobody's really all that interested in, they're just going to fail in all of their ambitions.
And I don't want to make the segment too long. I want to kind of get it up at a decent time today. But overall, even as far as these ads, all around the board, y'all are firing people like crazy. Even though you have profit margins every quarter, you're making money hand over fist. You're making all this money, but yet you guys are firing people and laying people off, trying to rely on AI, and then you're getting busted for stealing people's art and stuff like that versus just doing it the right way and paying a professional. Like, nah, we want to cut all these corners, right? Well, I also want you to keep this in mind too. If all y'all are firing all these people, who exactly are you advertising to? If we in the middle of a recession and y'all keep firing all these people, it has a trickle effect. Everybody that gets fired, it affects a different industry. That's more money they won't spend somewhere else. That's somewhere else, another place won't profit. That's another place that won't have more money to spend. So while y'all are on your firing sprees while making all this money, you're actually damaging the economy, taking all of these people out of the economy, not being able to spend more money. Like, the way y'all move just doesn't make any sense. Money just can't buy sense. Just can't buy. You have all the money in the world and your ass just has no common sense. Like, I just don't understand. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But let's go ahead and move on to the next segment.
If you want the integrity of video games to continue to be more free and not held down by corporate nonsense, this is great then. Obviously, you all know Nintendo is suing Pocket Pair over Palworld. They got 3 patents that they're suing for. One failed already, which was the monster capturing ball patent.
Good. My thing is, y'all are so focused on everything that you're not supposed to be focused on. Why don't you focus on making better games? Why don't you focus on keeping a consistent frame rate? Because from what I hear on that Switch 2, it's extremely underwhelming, especially with its power and capabilities. But you so worried about Palworld, why don't you get your stuff together? Like, you got other issues to worry about. Ain't nobody confusing Palworld for Pokemon, because Palworld's a much more fun game as far as what you do on the game. Like, it's a more fun game. Y'all been doing this same Pokemon formula since we was kids for over 20 years. You ain't upgraded nothing, you ain't updated nothing. And when I show you this clip that I found on Instagram, this AI clip, I'm like, why haven't you done this? Because that would be fire. But we're gonna get to that. That's gonna be the last thing we cover.
Basically, Nintendo thought that they owned the right to capturing monsters in balls. And then the Japanese court, in their own home turf, roundhouse kicked Nintendo in the throat, which definitely had to hurt. That now leaves 2 patents, one being far more nebulous, which is riding on monsters and transferring your player character from land to ground mounts. If you ask me, this one will likely also not hold any water either. If the Pokemon Ball patent got cooked the way it did, what hope does that one have?
And then, dude, riding a mount, dude, you've been able to ride mounts since Sega, since Golden Axe. Even before that, you've been able to get on even Battletoads. So you're Ninja Turtles. You've been on vehicles, you've been on mounts on other games. So I don't understand why they think that they have ownership over that. That's not, you can't own riding a mount in the game. Like, that's overstepping copyright boundaries.
Especially considering all Pocket Pair really needs to do to prove that other games have used mounts before, and well, we know there's many games that do that already. So this then leaves the most damaging patent because it doesn't only attack or damage Pocket Pair and Palworld, but really all video games. That third patent is that Nintendo apparently claims they own the rights to summoning help in video games, which is, yeah, absurd. Because if Nintendo were to wield this particular patent, it would be disastrous for the games industry because the idea of summoning help is so far-reaching and can apply to so many different things, it would be, no joke, a disaster, dude.
Which is no lie, because honestly and truly, the only things that you are able to own and capable of owning, if they were to say, let's say Pocket Pair, they use the Pokeball, right? You know, the red ball, the iconic Pokeball. Let's just say, you know, any of the Pokeballs they have. Then you have, basically you could say that, okay, you took my design, you took my format, cool. Whatever, you can have that. You took my Ash Ketchum, you took my Brock, you know, you straight up just took something from the intellectual property frame for frame. Then you can say that, you know, even as far as the attacks, even as far as picking attacks, if they were to specifically take that property, then you would have an argument. But you don't reserve ownership over summoning monsters. You don't have ownership over any of this, none of the mechanics. If that's the case, then you might as well say, oh well, we own fighting mechanics. No, you don't. If that was the case, and you can have ownership over this quote unquote thing that you think you're supposed to have ownership of, there would be no Street Fighter, there would be no Tekken, there would be no King of Fighters, because they'd be like, well, I created a game where people hit each other, so you can't make any other fighting games. No, you cannot copyright and patent and have licensing over something that is not unique to a specific thing. Now, if somebody were to drop a game and put Ryu on it, then you're like, hey man, you can't just take my character without permission. Then you can sue. But to just say, oh, we own the mechanics, you're pulling a Soldier Boy. You can't do that. You don't own the rights over actions. You can't patent actions. That's like saying, well, we patent walking, so anybody who walking got to cut me a check. That's not how that works. And I'm glad they're losing.
Anyways, this video is actually about that patent, the summoning one, because guess what? Nintendo, they got cooked again. So here we go, fellas. This is from IGN. U.S. Patent Office boss orders re-examination of Nintendo's controversial summon character and let it fight Pokemon patent, which IP expert claims further undermines credibility of its case against Palworld. Oh, I just know that the guys over there at Nintendo right now, they are punching holes in things, dude. I love to see it. This is glorious, beautiful even.
Now, this is one thing that I'll say to Nintendo. Now, if y'all want to make money, we want 3D, we want realistic versions of Zelda. That's what we want. We want adult versions of Zelda. And like I said, you ain't got to go over the top. You ain't got to be dismembering and all that stuff like Ninja Gaiden, but a more aesthetically, graphically appealing and pleasing thing. I want to see all those characters realistic. You know, was it the Gorons? Goron? I think that was like the rock people. You know what I'm talking about? The rock people, the mermaid people. I don't remember their names because it's been a minute. But I want to see all of these villains in these worlds be realistic. And just because it's realistic does not mean it has to be excessively violent. But it would be dope to see more realistic versions of these games remade. And you can keep them almost one-to-one, maybe add a few things for the updated times of gaming. That would be cool. There's so many different things that you can do with the IP that you haven't been doing that's not being utilized, but you're so focused on trying to sue somebody in corporate greed and saying, we're going to make it as simple as possible. We're not going to change anything. We just want to as simple as possible to make as much money as possible. But then you guys are complaining about your profit margins. That's the issue. You're having issues with your profit margin because you're not doing anything different. You've milked the hell out of Mario. You milked the hell out of Zelda. And I'm not saying these things don't sell, but if you don't do something different, you've been doing this for over 20 years. The same game over 20 years with very slight upgrades, but you want to be upset because Palworld said, hey, we're going to bring in the heater and everything. We shooting and everything on here. Don't get mad because you didn't do it. Don't be mad because they did what Nintendo don't. And even then, Palworld is not even an excessively violent game. So they showed you can do these things without going over the top. Because even me personally, I don't like excessively violent games. I don't. I haven't finished Ninja Gaiden 4 because every 5 I can't turn it off. And I don't want to sit here and have to edit out all of that stuff to monetize my video. Because every 5 seconds, there's dismemberment and blood hitting the screen. You don't even have an option to turn it off. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go into an execution scene every 8-9 seconds. That's not a good game to me. That's just showing that you just trying to appeal to a certain audience, but you're slowing the fight down. You're slowing the battle down. Every time I got to stop and do all that, you're killing the motion. You're killing the vibe. Like I like the game to be quick, dodge, get in, get out, get in, get out. How number 1 was. Like the same dismemberment and stuff was in part 1, but you were in the fight, out the fight. You had to be quick and agile. On this one, it's like every 5 seconds, it's a hold up video sequence execution. Why? Like that's taken away from the actual gameplay. So again, that might not be what people want, and they could just be making things around what people want. I'm just giving my suggestions on what I think, coming from somebody who actually spends the money versus people who just play things on Game Pass. If your game is fire, I'll get it new. I don't mind. I spend money, just like TBH. I'm gonna buy it. Again, you can listen to who you want, take the advice of who you want. Like I'm just a guy on YouTube, but this right here, this clip I'm about to show, tell me this wouldn't be fire if Pokemon went more this direction.
Whether it's used to harden Machoke's fists or as a toothpick by a Tyranitar, the life of a dual struggle for endurance, some even fight to the death. Those who fail to harden enough simply cannot survive. Capable of withstanding Machoke's mighty punches, its training continues, driven by a single purpose. Arc of evolution ignites within Graveler. In a surge of fury, it transforms into Golem, the predator. Then, with unstoppable force, Golem hurls itself forward.
That's all I'm saying. Leave your feedback below on that, because I'm just saying, if it looked more like that, it'd be a whole different ball. I guarantee you would have a whole lot more players, and it wouldn't just be adults. Kids would want to play that too. And like I said, it ain't nothing crazy violent. It's still a bunch of animations. It's not bloody or gory. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then if you want to be technical, you're capturing something and making it fight for you. So if we're going to talk about the dynamics, we've kind of left, we kind of left the morality ground of this not being questionable behavior in the first place. So I go in the wild, right? I capture you, make you do my bidding and fight for me to get badges. I make you fight for my benefit. So we're leaving morality in the dirt here, because you know what that really is. I don't want to say it, but we know what that is when you make people do your bidding and they don't have a choice and you hold them captive, and you make it act like they are willingly willingly captured and they're okay with being enslaved to you. Yeah, out here with Pokemon Stockholm syndrome. Let's not play the morality game, all right? So if you get through with your boy this long, I appreciate you hanging with me. Links in the description below like always. And in the meanwhile, I'm out. Have a good one.